What's up, guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we're going to be looking at the Halo Legends Package 3-Pack from McFarlane. This includes John, which is Spartan 117, Fred, which is Spartan 104, and Kelly, which is Spartan 087. These guys are some pretty nice figures. It's a really cool pack. John and Fred measure just about 6 inches. They're really the same mold other than the head, and a couple other features, but the size, they're just about 6 inches. Kelly's a little bit shorter at about 5 and a quarter, 5.5, right around there, depending on how you ever posed. I'm going to review them all in one review since it's a package set. We're going to start off with John since we've seen this guy before. He comes with the energy sword. It's the one that has the little nubbins on the front and on the back, the little round balls there. You can probably clip those off if you wanted to. I'm not going to bother. He can't really hold it very well due to the fact that it has the thing in the middle for the elite hands, but if you put it in his hand like that, he can hold it. And even though it's not perfect, it's better than hacking it all up, and it looks fine pretty much for most display purposes. So there's that. It has a weapon peg, of course, which I have in his thigh, but that has that. And he comes with his trusty assault rifle with also a weapons peg. He doesn't hold it as well as you might think. Normally they can hold these pretty well, but the way his hands are, the way they're just open, really large openings, he doesn't hold it very well at all. So either two-hand it or just balance it just right. You can kind of wedge it on there sometimes, depending on how you have it, but it's not the best weapon holding. So he has a peg in each thigh. He has 2 peg holes actually in this thigh because of the grenades in the animated movie thing that it's from. As far as articulation goes, his head is on a ball peg with tons of mobility, so that's really good. Probably the best neck peg we've seen for any of the Master Chief figures. Shoulders are on ball discs. Don't have a huge range of motion due to the sculpt of the armor and the undersuit. It sticks out pretty far, but you get decent range, and it is ratcheted. And you could probably do a little bit of trimming if you wanted to give it a little bit of more range. As far as bicep swivel, that comes down here by the elbow. It's a ratcheted ball disc, and it swivels at the bicep and at the forearm. Oh, I'm sorry, it doesn't swivel at the forearm. I'm used to talking about the other figures. It does not swivel at the forearm, just at the bicep, and it's ratcheted. The wrist swivels at the forearm and in the hand and is ratcheted, so full range of motion there. No problem at all. The torso is on a ball joint. It's actually a double ball joint, just like the head. Full range of motion, really well done. Probably the best one we've seen again. So these Halo Legends figures are really top notch. Here's one of the problems though. The thighs, the hips don't have a huge range of motion. They're kind of built like the old Halo 3 figures in that this piece here swivels on a regular swivel up and down, and then the thigh itself has like a ball joint, but it's very limited due to this bulkier thigh armor. So you're not going to get a huge range of motion out of that. That's really about it forward. And that's about it backwards. So it's pretty limited. You're not going to get very much side to side at all. So that's pretty limited, and it is a downside. The knees rotate at the thigh, and then they're ratcheted. And I love the way they tuck under like that for the knee armor. They did a really good job with that. Pretty cool. The ankles are the same thing as the wrist, just a little bit bigger. It swivels at the shin and in the foot and is ratcheted. Again, it's pretty limited though due to the bulk of the armor. And then the toe is on a ball joint, old school ball peg, but it does have some mobility. The feet look kind of big. You do get used to it, but and I know they were big in the little show that they were based on, the movie, whatever you want to call that. The animation, they were pretty big in that, more Gundam style, but they look pretty good still, and the sculpt is good, so I'm okay with it even though they're a little bit bulky. Paint on this guy is really good. The visor in particular is super well done. The detail is great, the reflection is great, not reflection but the shine. They did a really nice job with that, and the rest of the paint details are pretty good too. As you can see, the 117 is nice and crisp. The lines are okay. They could use another coat, because you can see there's overlap and it's darker there, but it's still pretty good, and the little red details throughout, and just everything looks pretty darn good on this guy. Not too much to complain about at all. So really cool figure. One of my favorite Master Chief figures from McFarlane, to be completely honest. I really like it. I do like this character design also. It is not the same as the Play Arts figure that everybody keeps saying is from Halo Legends. It's not the same. This is Legends, that one's not. This one's cooler. This is the same design that they used for Forward Unto Dawn, the live action series before Halo 4 came out. So there's that really cool figure. Let's look at Fred next. Like I said, he's almost the exact same as John. I'll point out the differences. Let's get the gun out and look at that first. He's got this laser. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same mold that we've seen before. Maybe a little bit of a different paint application. Some things look new, like that green there. But as you can see, the detail on this thing is just amazing. Sculpt and paint. Really a fantastic accessory. It's got the little trigger guard thingy and the foregrip here. It's got a weapons peg hole, which it does have a weapons peg. I know it doesn't go there, but there's no hole on his back. So they just left that in there, I guess. So whatever. So he's got the laser. He doesn't have the trigger finger that he needs to hold the laser because it has this guard here. So what I did is I took my X-Acto and just cut through the two fingers. You can see the white plastic, but no big deal. And then once you do that, he can hold it just fine. So that's pretty cool. One thing I want to point out before I move on too much, both of these guys, since they have basically the same sculpt, they don't have a great range of motion. I mean, it's almost 90 degrees there, but the shoulders don't have too much motion, so you're going to have a little bit of trouble getting them to hold their weapons effectively. It's going to look a little awkward, especially with the laser, but you can get it done if you pose the hand just right. Bring it down a little bit, and he can pretty much hold it where he needs to. But don't expect to have tons of posability with these guys. They're a little blocky. But it's, you know, you can get it good enough probably. Okay, let's move on to his other accessory, which is brand new for any of the Halo figures, which is really cool. I'm glad they did this. He's got these removable knives that he has in the show, or movie or video, whatever you want to call it. They're just little silver knives, but they're sculpted pretty well. And they slide into his shoulder pads, just like in the show. So it's really cool. Unfortunately, he can't hold them very well at all because his hands have the big opening like the Master Chief figure, and the blade or the handles are pretty small. So I mean, you could balance them in there, maybe. I don't know. It's not going to work out very well because they don't hold very well. But they look really cool in the shoulder pads, so I would just leave them in there anyway and have him hold his laser. So let's look at the differences. Obviously, he's got this slate, steel, whatever blue, cobalt blue that Master Chief does not, and he's got this modified helmet, which is really nicely done. It's got great detailing. The sculpt is fancy. The paintwork is fancy. It says 104 on the top. It's got all these little paint details. The sculpt is superb. Articulation wise, it's about the same as Master Chief, but his helmet sticks forward a little bit more, so he's a little bit more restricted, but still pretty good articulation. Shoulder pads are almost the same, but they are modified for the knife, so he's got the same articulation, same range of motion as Master Chief. Same elbow, same wrist, same hands, everything like that. Same torso. Again, though, the paintwork is pretty good on this guy. I like it plenty. It's nice and metallic and it looks really cool. Same hips, same legs, the feet and everything are the same on this guy as Master Chief. He actually has a little bit of a better paint app. If you look, he's got the little silver parts painted on the vents there or whatever they are. Master Chief does not. He's got little details added throughout that Master Chief doesn't, with the silver buckles and on the thigh and that kind of thing. So a little extra paintwork on Fred, and I'm happy to have it. So really cool figure, and I'm really glad that they finally released these characters. So there's Fred, 104. Lastly, we can look at Kelly, which is my least favorite of the batch. They kind of screwed up some things. I don't know if they screwed it up really, but it wasn't as good as I was hoping. She comes with two of the plasma rifles, or alien assault rifles, whatever you want to call these. What are they called? It's been a while. I guess they're just plasma rifles, right? I don't know. I don't remember. I feel stupid. Whatever. Two of these, same as we've seen before. Weapons peg holes and a peg for each one on her thigh. She also comes with a shotgun. I think this is the shotgun that Forge came with. I'm not positive on that, but it looks like it. It's got the weapons peg. She can hold it okay because she has a trigger finger. They gave her a trigger finger, so that's decent. She holds it well enough. It's not perfect, but she can hold it. And then this hand is meant for the foregrip. Doesn't hold it actually, but it fits in there, so it's okay. And she does hold the plasma rifles well enough if you wedge them in there, so there's not really too much of a problem there. This one's a little trickier, but you can get it in. Okay, she's got basically the same articulation as the other guys, even though she's a lot smaller. The head is on the ball peg just like before, and the head's small, so plenty of range of motion. Really good sculpt, and they did a good job painting it. Looks pretty cool. I like that. Shoulders are the same. Shoulder pads are pretty much the same too, just smaller. So the same problems exist. Same thing with the elbows and the wrists. It's all the same articulation, just a little bit smaller. The torso is just as good as the other guys, double ball peg. So plenty of range of motion there. The hips are the same. Same problems again. Pretty limited due to the thigh armor, but it still looks okay. Same knees, although this time she doesn't have the cap on the top like the other guys, but it's the same piece of articulation, same piece for the ankles, and then the toe has a hinge with a swivel on it rather than a ball peg, and she's got these gigantic feet like the other guys, and in the animated short she had the high heel type boot, and she does in this again too. So they're pretty accurate, just a little bit clumsy looking, I think. Her paint could be a little bit better. You see some bleeding or some overspray on the foot there. There's a chunk missing on her knee. But overall, she looks pretty good. She's got the nice little red details throughout. The yellow stripes are good. And maybe the hands, they went a little overboard with the white on the hands. But it still looks pretty good as a whole, and if you put her with the other figures, then it's definitely a worthy purchase. So I do recommend you get these figures right now. Big Bad Toy Store has them. I think Amazon might still have them. They were running really low last time I looked, but I do recommend you get this set if you're a Halo fan, especially if you're a fan of Halo Legends or the Spartans or anything like that. It's definitely a good purchase, and for the 3 figures, you can't beat the price that the places are selling them for. So there it is, guys. There's the package, 3-pack from McFarlane. I do recommend it. I think you should go get it, and I think you'll enjoy it. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of my figure reviews and custom figures, and in the meantime, keep collecting.